Yo, what is going on, guys? So on today's episode, we have here a video saga from this woman right here who is a single mother who is not happy with the state of dating. She can't find her Prince Charming, and she is also not happy with being judged for her videos that she voluntarily posts to the internet. So without further ado, let's take a listen. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
I'm gonna need somebody to come forward and say that they've had a positive experience on the dating apps, because while I've had semi-positive experiences, I'm still single and I'm still meeting men that are not it. Some are like really fucking not it, but some are just like not it. And I'm also not it for them, which is like totally fine.
I always find it funny how these women who are, single mothers, divorced, over the age of 30, they go through so many men, and yet they can't find a single one to have a relationship with. At a certain point, it's not the men who are the problem.
Compatibility has to be on both sides, but like, is the consensus not that like the people that we are meeting online are just with really shady intentions? Like, I'm not on there right now, but I have also been on there. So does that mean that I have shady intentions? No. I'm genuinely on there like trying to find a person, but like, it is fucking rough out there.
I guarantee you, before we jump into this next clip, that this woman is still on the dating applications. And so what she's mad about here, guys, is that she can't get commitment from men, right? She can't get a relationship. All of them just have these shady intentions, okay? i.e., they're just there for fun. They're going to use her and then kind of move on and find another woman who is not a single mother. Let's continue.
But you know what blows my mind is but I'm on here doing like silly little lip syncs. I have like a rant every now and then. I share about like my dating woes. And some people are so bothered. Why are you so bothered about what I'm doing in my little internet world? Like, so bothered to the point where like you make comments that are so out of pocket. And it's like, does it make you feel better to say it?
I love this level of gaslighting, right? If you leave a comment that she doesn't like, then, you're just so pressed and you're so heated about this particular issue. The reason why people are leaving comments on your videos is because you are making public videos. People leave comments. It's the internet. Especially if you post about dumb crap. If you get on the internet and start complaining about dating, particularly as a woman, guys, a lot of men are not really going to sit there and be like, wow, she's reasonable. A lot of people are going to look at you like you're a psycho, because dating is not hard for women. I love this gaslighting, right? It's like if you leave a comment and you're pressed and like you're overheated about this issue. No, people comment on your videos because they are public videos where you're doing a commentary. That's like me, guys, releasing a video and then complaining that people comment on it. Like, of course people comment on it. It's a public video, for goodness sake.
Are you really that sick inside where you need to like shit on somebody's little internet corner parade to make your day better? Like, did you have your morning coffee? Do you need to go take a giant shit? Like, what is your problem? Take nothing that I do on here seriously. If I'm having like a little rant, these are my opinions. I'm allowed to have them. If you want to have opinions on the internet, why don't you start your own little TikTok channel and let the world comment on your shit? Like, get a fucking life.
I just love this gaslighting, right? So she's allowed to have her opinions. She's allowed to make her comments. But if you comment on her videos, then, you're someone who's awful and you're someone who's terrible. This is the hilarious part about the internet, guys, is you just have certain people on here that just cannot take criticism when they post public videos, right? If you don't want details shared about your life, then don't share them. It's really, it's really that simple. If you don't want people to comment on your life, if you don't want people involved where you think that they shouldn't be, then don't make the information public. Right? Like, it's really not that simple, not that complicated to understand, but gaslighting 101 here, guys. You're not allowed to comment on her videos. She's a single mother making videos about dating, commentary, but you're not allowed to comment, or you're an evil person. This is what I've noticed, right? So many people on the internet is like, if you disagree with them, even if you have logical grounds to disagree with them, you're just a piece of garbage human being, apparently. Interesting how that works. Let's continue. This saga continues on, guys. It does.
Little sick of people telling me what they think I'm looking for, or that they think I'm looking for something unreasonable. I'm not looking for anything unreasonable.
Yeah, let me just pause it there. Only a brief pause here, guys. But anytime a woman says that she has realistic dating standards and she is also single over the age of 30, I guarantee you they are not realistic dating standards. Otherwise, you would have a boyfriend or a husband by now. Or at least, maybe the father of your kids would still be in the picture.
I'm not looking for anything unreasonable. I know what I have to offer as a human being, as a woman, as a girlfriend, as a wife, as a mother, as all these things. I know who I am. And I know that I am not everybody's cup of tea, but I think I have a lot of great qualities that most men would be happy to receive.
I mean, that's nice. You can sit here and you can say that you have great qualities all day. But at the end of the day, if the product isn't selling, if the men that you want don't want you, then you actually have an unrealistic expectation. That's literally what you're doing is being unrealistic by definition. This is like selling a car, guys, and being like, wow, anyone would be lucky to have this. It's worth at least $200,000. And you're getting no offers for your price. It means that it's not actually worth that. You don't get to set the price, okay? The market, i.e. men, gets to set what they are willing to give in exchange for you, right? If you can't get a relationship from a man, he's essentially said, no, I'm not interested in what you're offering.
That most men would be happy to receive. But I still don't even want to get into this because it just feels like you guys are going to drag me if I do, you're going to drag me if I don't. So none of these things are unreasonable. You could say my list is too long, but the list is all reasonable shit. And I also am very aware of the fact that, like, there are things that I'm willing to not settle on. Like, I'm not going to date a guy who does hard drugs. That's valid. But then there are things that I'm willing to compromise on. Bottom line, my standards are in place because I'm looking for somebody that can meet me where I'm at. If you think that they're too high, then you've just eliminated yourself from the running. So
yeah, guys. Oh no, we've eliminated ourselves for the running. Notice how she still hasn't shared what exactly her standards are yet, by the way. This is something so many modern women don't really do because they know it's unrealistic. They sit here and say, well, I just want the bare minimum. But if you actually look at their standards, guys, like really actually look at what they do, okay, particularly their dating habits, they don't date dudes who are below a certain height or below a certain income or, below these certain metrics. And if they do, the guy typically has a lot of one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you actually look at what these women do, they're only going for the top guys. Like, I guarantee you, gentlemen, okay, if we could see behind the curtains of what this woman was doing on dating applications, I guarantee you she's only chasing the chads. Right? She's only chasing the dudes that other women want. Let's continue.
I'm convinced that it doesn't matter what version of any story I tell, that as a woman, as I sit here, if I talk about dating in any sort of negative light, the assumptions just start flying.
Not an assumption, madam. If you're over the age of 30 and you're a single mother and you're still dating, but we're not making assumptions at a certain point. Your standards are unrealistic because if they were realistic, you would have a boyfriend or a husband. Really not rocket science.
I'm either not self-reflecting and I'm the problem.
Probably true.
Not even going to elaborate on my journey because that's my business. Or I'm putting out on the first date. Like, this is often how I dress on first dates, in baggy hoodies, and I do this intentionally. I don't know what about me sitting here telling a story about, like, having a crush. Like, it's the purest, most innocent thing to say is that I have a crush, and you're making assumptions that I'm sleeping with him on the first date and that's why he's fucked off. Are you guys okay? What is wrong with people where we need to just make assumptions about people? Why, like, ask inquiring questions. Have adult conversations. Communicate. I don't understand why we're making assumptions.
This gaslighting is crazy. This is like me going into a store, robbing the place, being caught on camera, and then, you know, being questioned afterwards and being like, guys, why are you making assumptions? You know, like, why are you making assumptions that I took things from the store when you just saw me on camera taking things from the store? Okay, so put it to you this way, guys. If a girl gets to over the age of 30, or hell, even approaching 30, honestly, and she's particularly a single mother, and she's still single, even single mothers have significantly more options than the average guy. There are a lot of men who won't date single mothers, but, you know, in order to get to the position that this woman is in, you have to have unrealistic standards and you have to make bad choices. You don't just become a single mother without making bad choices, and you don't become, you know, approaching 30 or around 30 years of age and you're still single by making fantastic choices. That's just not how that works. Right? So we're denying reality here and we're just accusing people of making assumptions. And to me, guys, the assumptions seem pretty accurate. Okay? Like, you know, you have unrealistic expectations. How else did you get into this situation? Please enlighten me. Give me, you know, some sort of information that says otherwise. Are you a widow, perhaps?
Stop making assumptions about my life.
I swear to God, if he's not an asshole, he's emotionally unavailable. Why is it always this way? You find a guy that you're into, and you get like a little crushy crush, and then you like express your crushy crush, and then you realize that they've just gotten out of a serious relationship, so they're not looking to date. And they're also being super respectful and being like, I'm not gonna place you in the casual category either because I can tell you're not that girl, so like, I just want to let you know where I'm at. Super respectful. Why? Why is it always this way? Maybe he's not into me. That's also a possibility.
Correct!
Have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public. So make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway, guys, back to today's episode.
Old Shay would be like, I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna play the long game. This man's gonna fall for me and he's gonna change his mind. That's a terrible idea.
So did you guys catch that? Number one, all the men that she gets crushes on seems, you know, they seem to be a-holes or just wanting to have fun. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? All of the men that she has crushes on that she's interested in, these guys are not interested in commitment. And the reason why is because they have options. They don't have to date a single mother seriously, right? They really don't. Also, I'm very skeptical that this man, you know, that these two didn't have bedroom fun. But hey, let's take her at her word here, guys. And her word is that whenever she seems to get a crush, it's always just some a-hole, right? But also pick up here, what she said is she said that, listen, in the past, she would have played the long game. She would have tried to nail him down. She would have been seeing him for months at a time. But now, guys, she's done her healing journey. She has a kid. She has responsibilities as a single mother. So she's not about hookups anymore. Right? She would have done it previously. She would have gone through all the hoops to try and convince him. But now, as a single mother, guys, you know, around or over the age of 30, hell, I don't even know. Looking older in every single video. I can never guess what age these people are. But now she's looking for something more serious.
I'm just setting myself up for failure. He's already expressed that he's not ready to date, so why? Why? Carry on with your life, Shay. Right person, wrong timing. Is that even a thing, though? I feel like if it's the wrong timing, then it's just like not your person.
So I got stitched. Not even on TikTok. On some YouTube channel. I watched some of the videos. They're not totally off base. The whole channel is about women's unrealistic standards of men or expectations of men, or women that think that their value is up here when it's not.
I wonder whose channel it was. I don't think I've covered this woman before, so it's not my channel. But I wonder who she's talking about here. And so this is probably what she was so pressed about, ironically enough, earlier on in the video. She's annoyed that people are, you know, commenting on or stitching her video, or whatever the case may be.
The problem I have is that I'm being grouped in based on assumptions. So it was the video of me like, my fellow girlies, where are you guys meeting people? I go out all the time. I'm working on being more approachable. Like a genuine, like, where are we meeting people because I'm not doing the apps. And
Maybe I did cover her. I don't know. I can't quite remember. But yeah, if you're struggling to date at around the age of 30 or over the age of 30, and you don't know where to meet men anymore, you know, it's kind of lost for you. And the reason why I say it's lost, guys, is because everyone with two brain cells to rub together understands that in modern dating, women have a significant advantage. If you can't find a man, right? If you don't have a boyfriend, that's because of yourself, right? You could date a guy, you just want higher. You think you deserve more. And that's how these women end up 30 plus years of age and perpetually single, is because they think that they deserve a lot more than they actually do. Makes perfect sense.
I got categorized as, you can imagine, you know, I'm a single mom, so I must have, you know, opened my legs for somebody that wasn't worthy and then had a kid by some deadbeat dad.
I mean, my explanation is usually that you got with a guy, you have a kid, and then you ditch him. My assumption is not automatically that the man's a deadbeat dad. I think a lot of guys are being removed from family situations where they would have otherwise loved to have taken care of their kids. But I digress. Let's hear the story, guys. Let's hear why she is a single mother and how she's less blame. She's not. She doesn't deserve the blame. Let's take a listen.
Opened my legs for somebody that wasn't worthy and then had a kid by some deadbeat dad. You guys don't know me very well. I was with somebody for 14 years and I was married for 4 of them. Like, we chose to have a child. He is an active, involved father. We were not a good match at the end.
Yeah, 14. Together for 14 years. I'm rubbing my temple as I say this, guys. Okay, together for 14 years, married for 4, and then you divorced him because you weren't a good match. Oh my goodness. You would think that you would figure out if you're hey, listen. Finding out if you're a good match typically happens in the first portion of the relationship, long before you decide to have children and get married. That is crazy, man. Of course you got lumped in. Like, this is exactly what we're talking about. What do you mean? You divorced your husband of 4 years because you weren't compatible. This is exactly what we're talking about.
Child. He is an active, involved father. We were not a good match at the end of the day. Having kids changes a lot of things. So, like, no, wrong. And then say,
right, so we have kids and then we ditch the guy because having kids is somehow an enlightening experience that you don't want the man anymore. I see. Oh, that all makes it perfectly justified then. Carry on.
That because I'm a single mom, the pool of men that I inherently have access to is limited.
True.
Totally understand that. Not every guy wants to inherit somebody's children, and when I say inherit, I don't mean like become their stepdaddy. Like I said, my daughter has a very involved father. He's a great dad. I don't need anybody to be her dad, but I do come with a child, and I understand that that's not everybody's thing. I get that. The problem I have is that I'm being grouped in with this set of women who expect a man to provide everything for them.
Honestly, no, I could have left the criticism before the providing thing. Right? I still have plenty of criticism on this situation to give, even if you're not trying to get a man to provide for you and to take care of a kid that's not his own. Like, yes, that is one gripe that people would have with your videos, right? With dating a single mother, they don't want to give resources to the child, which normally ends up being expected of the man, let's be honest. Like, you have to look after the kid even though it's not yours. You're expected to contribute at one point or another, typically. But even if you're going to leave that completely astray, you get grouped in with these women because you're in the same group of these women. Women who are single mothers by choice who disband their family after 14 years. And I say 14 because I'm counting the ex-husband as family, right? Like, you chose to make a family with this man. This is why dudes don't want to get married. You know, they really, this is exactly what a lot of men are scared of, right? They don't want to get married to a woman, have her after 4 years 4 years of marriage, decide that you aren't compatible, divorce you. Now you're like got shared custody of the kids. Maybe your kid's taken completely. You know, this is a point A case why men don't want to marry and why men don't date single mothers, honestly.
You gotta pay all my bills. You gotta buy me nice things. You gotta take me out on lavish dates. I don't want any of these coffee dates. That's not me. I have a job. A good job. I support my whole life by myself. I'm not looking for somebody to come in here and pay my bills, buy me a car. I literally have sugar daddy filtered out in my DMs so that I don't even get those messages. And if they happen to come through, I just block them. If that's what I wanted, then I would be accepting them. Those things I don't think disqualify me from, not entitled, being allowed to have a second chance at love. Like,
hey, you know, nobody's saying that you're completely disqualified from dating. All that people are saying is that, listen, if you're a single mother and you're going out there dating, then things are going to be significantly more difficult for you. Rightfully so. That's just the way it is. So on the one hand, she says that it's understandable that people aren't going to be interested in her, but on the other hand, she's claiming that, listen, everybody deserves a second chance at love. Oh, you can have your second chance, it just won't be as good as your first. You know, like, this is how this works. Okay, if, for example, if you're a man and you're overweight and you don't take care of your body and your finances are crap, you know, you're going to have less women to choose from. That's just the way it is. You know, people just go into dating and they expect things that they, you know, that they shouldn't otherwise be expecting. And so this woman says that she has reasonable standards and she understands people aren't going to want her as much. But on the same token, she's saying that she deserves a second chance at love. Yeah, you deserve that chance. Go, you know, you can argue that case, sure. I don't necessarily agree with it, but your pool is going to be significantly smaller.
love is this sandwich right here. I'm allowed to be cared for. Just because I had a marriage that didn't work out doesn't mean that my life is over. Just because I'm a mom doesn't mean that my life is over. I don't want to be categorized with these women who expect traditional relationships while not being a traditional woman.
Well, you just put yourself in that basket, right? You said you want to be cared for. Didn't she say that like 10 seconds ago? That she wants to be cared for, but again, she's not a traditional woman, guys. She's a single mother. Traditionally, single mothers weren't a thing, and if they were, it was because they were a widow. What is this woman talking about? You literally fit that definition. You're a non-traditional woman who's looking for something traditional. I'm going to ask my editor to actually play back that bit earlier, like 10 seconds ago, where she said that she's looking for someone to take care of her.
Because I'm looking for somebody that can meet me where I'm at.
We're just going to put it in.
What even is tradition anymore? I feel like I'm not sure where I stand on that spectrum either. Because there's things about me that are very traditional. I could rhyme them off, but like, let's not get into it. But then there's things about me where like I'm not traditional. I don't expect a man to pay for my life. I'm okay with being more financially sound than him. I'm okay with being older, and the fact that I had a whole life before means that I'm probably in a better financial state than other people. And don't make assumptions that he is not the ex-husband. We walked away 50-50. Everything was even. He has 50-50 time with his kid. He got 50-50 from the real estate sale. He got 50-50 of the assets. Everything was very fair.
I mean, cool, you can say that it's fair, and let's just take this woman at face value and say that, listen, they both put in 50% for the house. Unlikely, but let's take her at face value. Let's even say, hell, that she paid for the house. This is still a case of why men don't want to get married, because now look, he's lost his child for a large portion of the time. You see what I'm saying? It's like, just because you're missing one or a couple of these aspects doesn't mean that it's a great situation at all, and it doesn't mean that, you know, you're not going to be grouped in with these women who decide to disband their 14-year relationships. Right? And I personally would not consider her a traditional woman, guys, because being a single mother is not a traditional woman, in my opinion.
So don't assume. I think the bottom line is that there's this narrative on both sides that it's shit. So can we not just collectively agree that it's shit and just stop shitting on each other? I'm not sitting here saying men are the worst. There are a lot of women that are the fucking worst too. People are crap. I don't want the crap people. I'm not.
You know what? We'll probably wrap up today's episode here, guys. But I can agree with this woman's statement at the end here. You know, there are crappy women, there are crappy men, but overall, guys, people are crappy. I think we can all agree on that. And on that really positive note, we're going to be wrapping up today's episode. Let us know what you guys think of this woman's video saga here. I didn't know the whole saga until I started watching it just now. But obviously, this is someone who is a single mother who disbanded her relationship of 14 years, marriage of 4, but she doesn't want to be categorized as a non-traditional woman, and she thinks that she deserves a second chance at love. What do you guys think down in the comments box below? It's actually interesting having a video where, you know, one of these women just isn't yelling at you the whole time. It's nice and refreshing. So guys, what do you think in the comments box down below? As always, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.